Hello, I am Dr. Veirdre Jackson, the CEO and creative of Living Strong Consulting. Let me ask you a question. What does it mean to be bold, black, and bankable? It means we're not asking for permission. We're owning the mirror, the marketplace, and tonight, the mic. In this episode, we're digging deep into the truth about Black beauty. Beyond the trends, beyond the stereotypes, we're actually talking about the brilliance of our bodies, the genius in our business, and the power of our minds. From hair to skin and to strategy and innovation, Black beauty is not just about style. It's actually about substance. It's culture. It's capital. So if you've ever questioned your worth, underestimated your power, or placed small in anything about your industry or identity, we actually want to help you build your story. It's time to create a flip to that script. So let's get into it. This is Bold, Black, and Bankable on the flip side of adversity. Trauma, toxic stress, broken habit, and hurting heart don't define destiny, but peace isn't passive. It requires an exchange. To create a flip and access peace in the middle of the pieces, you are challenged to make an exchange of the lies that have kept you mentally hostage in basement moments. Resilience isn't about bouncing back, but bouncing forward. Living Strong, the flip side of adversity, brings powerful stories and fearless conversations from experts in the field of business, relationships, emotional, physical, and mental health, and faith-based communities. Each episode creates a brave space with powerful tools from authentic connections. Tune in as we dig in with Dr. Jackson on the flip side of adversity. Hello and welcome to the flip side of adversity. You know, every story, every conversation, we strive to have dive deep into resilience, into rebuilding, into reclaiming, into reframing. And this conversation isn't going to be any different, but I'm not having this one by myself. I have 5 powerhouse women who have come together at the table to have this conversation around bold, black, and bankable. So I'm going to actually give them each 60 seconds to share who they are, what part of the industry they're representing, and what does Black is Beautiful mean to them, personally and professionally. So let's get started. She is not a newbie to the flip side. We're going to start with Bertina Pelzer.
My full name, though.
Yes.
My whole full name.
I've been waiting.
So I know you've been waiting to do this, just to pull out the government.
Yes.
So I am Tina Pelzer. I am formerly a cosmetologist, stylist, owner of a salon, but I'm also in the banking industry now. I'm a relationship manager for a company that helps small businesses, what we're talking about today, be bankable. And why I'm passionate about this is because not only have we experienced or seen our Black businesses not overcome just the tragedies of the world and circumstances, but we've also seen where our businesses are just surviving and not striving. And for me, that's vital. Mm-hmm. It matters in our everyday world. And the bigger deal is we can be entrepreneurs and not have to depend on anyone for our income. So this is super important for me for just for life.
Yeah.
And living. and being able to teach someone else. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to next passionate one about the industry, Miss Yvonne.
I am very passionate, as we know. My name is Yvonne Richardson. I own Royalty Hair Salon, and I am coming up on 25 years of hairstyling, and I love it. Still love it to this day. We all know what the salon means to the area. We all know we get our good secrets there. We get our good snacks. We get to see people, love on people each week, every 2 weeks, whatever week you come in. But it's passionate and purposeful to me because of future legacy for my daughter, for her daughter. It's like just legacy of being Black and beautiful. And that's just period.
Yes.
Yep.
Shamika?
Hello, everyone. I am Shamika Phillips, and I am the owner of Bold and Beautiful Hair Salon and Beyond Hair Wellness Center. And this is a passionate subject for me because I truly love supporting people being their authentic self. I am a hairstylist and a trichologist and a holistic health practitioner. So I support women who are experiencing hair loss and helping them get to the root cause. And a lot of the times people are afraid to be themselves, especially in the corporate arena. And so they like to hide behind certain hairstyles. They feel like they can't be their authentic self. So I love supporting people with feeling like they can be their authentic selves.
Wow. Wow.
Hello, everyone. I am Jabetsi, and I own a nail salon in Westchester. It's called Inspired Nail Art Studio. I named it Inspired Nail Art Studio because I was inspired through a lot of pain, being told that you can't do it. That motivated me to be able to do it. And I've been open for 4 years now, going on to 4 years now in January. And I feel like what is beautiful about it is being successful when others tell you you cannot or that you won't. Having children is going to stop you from being able to accomplish this. They're little, but still striving and still succeeding and looking back and saying, oh my God, wow, if I would have let that get to me, I would have never done it, and I would have been with the shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I still did it, and here I am sitting next to all of you beautiful women who have helped me come to the point where I am in life. So thank you, and here I am.
Yes. Mildred?
Yes. Hi, my name's Mildred Bell. They call me Millie, and I've been in just about all facets of the skincare industry. I started out as a makeup artist. I moved on to working in a salon. I then sidetracked and did a little other things in radio. And then I went back to skincare and had a salon in the Great Valley Corporate Center. From there, I met someone who was in the skincare industry. She was Alice Teal, and she was the first person to be inducted into the Aesthetic Hall of Fame.
Wow.
She was from Westchester. And she had, sorry, I have a little tickle.
That's all right.
Yeah. But anyway, and she inspired me. And by going to seminars. And this, one of the seminars I was at, she said, when you're green, you grow, when you're ripe, you rot. So it sort of made me hungry for learning, because who wants to rot?
Right.
So, yeah. So we did that. And then long story short, right now I'm president of Skin Health Solutions, and we actually manufacture skincare products. I'm also a licensed esthetician. So, I do skincare. That's my passion. Seeing someone with skin that's, not perfect, it just makes me want to grab them and lay them down, and let them know that you don't have to look like that. You don't have to be like that, because usually they have some sort of self-esteem, insecurity going on. So anyway, and my two daughters, I'm fortunate to have my two daughters, Angela Bell and Carletta London, Angela Bell Greenaway and Carletta London, and my granddaughter, Angel Williams. And they all also are part of our company.
Wow. Look at that
Legacy.
Literally. Legacy. So you already understand why this conversation is going to be powerful. If you have questioned whether or not you could do something, if you have been hiding because of some story you are telling yourself about your skin or your hair, if you're trying to be something that you aren't, because you authentically can show up as the unique version you are, if you think that your business isn't going to survive whatever this hurdle is right now, this conversation is for you. And I actually want us to all first, there are so many myths that run rampant through our industry. What is a myth that you believe is still rooted in our culture that you want to debunk in this conversation? Anyone can take it. What's a myth that you believe our people still believe?
Well, I can start first by being in the salon all day. Not in royalty. We are in and out. We do not play that. We do not play that. We are not in there from sun up to sundown. We are not. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, that's one.
And there's no money to be made. And since we're on the topic of bankable,
Yes.
a lot of beauty industries fail because they don't understand how to do their numbers. They don't understand how to set their prices because they don't understand the system. And we don't like to link up with others to be coached. And so it's very important to reach out and ask for help so that you can get educated, so that you can know your worth. I don't care when people say, what? That's how much it costs? Yeah, that's how much it costs. That is how much it costs because I spent my time, I'm highly educated,
Yes.
and your hair is healthy.
Yes.
So maybe I'm not your ideal stylist.
That's
That's
right.
a whole.
That's okay.
That's a whole.
That's a whole,
podcast
right,
by
all in
itself.
itself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a whole podcast by itself.
I think one of the myths is it's not a career.
Mm.
I've been told, why would you want to do nails? That's not a career. How are you going to be able to? But it is. It really is.
Yeah.
And not only I don't look at it as just a nail tech. I'm a nail tech. I'm a therapist.
Mhm.
I pour into women every day. And, sometimes I do have to remind myself I have to pour into myself also.
Yes.
But it's a balance.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how people will tell you this is not a career. But why isn't it?
But Betsy, it's not only a career; it's your business.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm very passionate about it. and I
Everybody's
love it.
used to
Yeah.
different things. Yeah. We grew up with that 9 to 5, work till you're 65. We don't do that.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
whole, and you're showing up in your creative selves,
Yeah.
and you are unapologetically understanding the value that comes along with the service, the
Yeah.
support,
Yeah.
as well as the end product. And Shamika, I actually want to go because I did a little bit of research. And Tina, I want you to take this one. So in 2023, Black people spent $9.4 billion in the beauty industry. How do we shift from consumer to owner?
Well, Shamika hit something on the nose. Is understanding your numbers, also understanding your why and what you're using, right? So if we are taking in inventory of what we need, how we're using it, connecting with the right people, right, to make sure that we're using it properly, we can shift that narrative. We can also shift the numbers because we consume with people that are not us.
Well,
We got to be intentional, though. That's how we can do it. And there are some things happening now. There are a lot of movements. There are some spaces in Atlanta being built. There's some spaces in Pennsylvania that are being built as well that are really directed towards consumerism for us. But we really, when we think about consumerism, we have to understand the bottom line. What do we need versus what do we want? And then who are we going to invest in, right? So that the end product comes back. Remember, money is a revolving. It goes in a circle. So it's really shifting our mind to not really want the things. And one thing I wanted to say with the beauty, with the industry, just all, because all of us are in some sort of beauty, is that one of the myths is that you got to keep up with the fads. You got to keep up with what's going
Fads
on.
aren't healthy.
It puts us in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
It puts us in a place where we can't, have a legacy. So one of the myths is that we can't be bankable. We are. Because like you just said, billions of dollars are going.
It's
Always been beauty.
And a lot of it, and here's the thing, how does that make sense when we're minorities?
Right.
Who's spending the money?
But to that point, again, actually going back to something that Shamika said in wanting and needing to be coachable, my question is, if we recognize that as a people, we will spend money as a consumer in the industry, how can we build actual collaboration instead of competition so that we can create that shift?
Well, I have an example. When we first started, for those who do not know, we were a team many moons ago. But when we first started, Shamika and I went out for help, and everybody closed their doors to us trying to help. We weren't trying to take anybody's clients. We had clientele. We were just wondering, like, how do you go about the business? How do you open it? How to stay, and no one helped us. So we thought, we're not doing that. So if anybody ever needed our help, wanted to do stuff to it, we were open to it. We literally got doors closed in our face, and that wasn't fun.
We walked the streets of Philly.
Yeah.
We went to different salons in Philly, just asking questions, peeking in, things like that, and people were very offended. Like you were saying, they literally closed the doors in our face.
And I think half that is lack of knowledge.
Right.
I think when you don't have the knowledge to share, you can't give it, right? And I think the flip side is also money-wise, like Shamika said, back in the day, a lot of things weren't on the books. So a lot of professional people, when you're young and 17, 18, mom, I want to be a hairdresser, they're looking like they don't make no money because it's not on the books. But we make some money.
We do make money.
And we can make a ton more money. But as you can see, the numbers online, a lot of those numbers come from Miss Millie's industry of skincare. It's skin and, all that stuff you can put on pliable to you. That is a killer out there. It makes a lot of money.
Yeah, that's really good. Skincare, I think it has a lot to do with your self-esteem too, like I was saying, and I just find too, being an esthetician is so rewarding. I mean, you meet some of the neatest people, and it gives you a different perspective on different people. They may look like a certain kind of person, but once they lay down and you have your hands on them and they're telling you about their problems, and not everybody, but and it just feels like you want to help them, give them something that they can go back and feel good about. As far as like you said that you knocked on doors, I'm open. If anybody wants to come to me, I've taught people, and I've helped people with anything, like a problem, a client they're having problems with, a skin situation that they can't handle or they don't know what to do with it. I just tell them, of course,
But you have to be coachable.
So you got to be open.
You have to
That's
be
the
coachable.
thing.
But she partnered up with someone in Westchester. I think that was the opening, the collaboration for you. You have daughters, you're used to sharing and working. Sometimes it's me, and it's not as fair to everybody because it's not. We weren't out to steal anybody's clients. We already had clients. That wasn't an issue. It was just more of the business mind, but we learned on our own.
Right. And it's back to what you were saying, sometimes people need to understand that there's enough money out there for everybody to make.
Absolutely.
And, we can all make money. And everybody also has to understand that everybody has their own technique on how to do the same thing as you, but their own way of doing it. I can teach anybody how to do nails and teach them the way I've learned. I've taken many courses, many seminars as well. One example, Jenny Bowie, who is Cardi B's former nail tech, she gave me a class and she taught me and many others in the room how to do bling application, for example. But I eventually found my own way on how to do it. Then I found my own techniques to make them last long. So in general, back to what she was saying, Yvonne was saying, when people were closing the doors in her face, it's like you said, maybe they didn't know or have the information, but also it is insecurity. But you know, so we have to let go of that.
We
There's
do.
enough out
We
there
do.
for all of us.
It is.
And there
We
is a
do.
lot of money to be made.
We
Because
do.
I look at my numbers at the end of the year and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
How did
yeah.
I get there?
Well, we're part of the 9 billion, so
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But the part of what you're saying is actually something that has literally come up the entire year. I said it last week, and I will say it again in this space, that if we are going to survive the experience we are having right now, it is going to require us to collaborate.
Yes.
We cannot continue to operate in silos or compete against one another. We are going to have to collaborate in order to be able to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people, that collaboration is easier said than done.
Yes.
It is.
Like many of the expressions that we've had, like, and that we just said, we opened a salon and was very successful, and each of us now are successful in our own right, but it came with the right mindset. It came with the right how we began. How we began is very important. And a lot of that has to do with two things: trust and risk. They are on the opposite side of each other. But when I trust my craft and I trust myself, in some instances, you would be willing to take a risk to make the investment. Many people close doors because they're not willing to take the risk because they've either been burnt, or they're afraid, or they're stuck in the syndrome of, I don't have enough or I can't. And it's stuff, you talk about this a lot.
That deficit
with
mindset.
your you talk about this a lot when people dealing with trauma. It takes time, and it takes these kinds of conversations, seeing a group of women at a table, same industry, but have been connected in one form, way or another. And there is not one of us here at the table that can't say we haven't helped each other in one way or not.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, yep.
Yeah.
Not one at this table.
Yeah.
And when we can harp on that and harness the positivity in that, we can groom the next person, because it's going to be beyond our words. It has to be in our actions and the grooming in it. That's the industry now is so, I see it all the time. We talk about being bankable. We are afraid to even go to the bank.
Yeah.
We are afraid to even say, okay, I'm going to get the business account, but once I do that, I'm stopping right there, because I'm just going to get the account. I'm not going to look for the loan because I'm not getting it. Most businesses survive off of a loan. Not many. And we are an industry that a lot of people never got a loan.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
We just start, like, how powerful is that? That in this industry, we're still bankable, but we're afraid to go to a bank, but we are still in good business and did not take out a loan.
But that actually takes me back to something that you've said, I think, the entire time that we have been friends, is that your belief controls your behavior.
That's good.
And so
That's
if
true.
I believe that I don't have enough, I'm going to close the door when somebody asks me for something.
Fear.
If I believe that this bank, or someone, an institution is going to take something from me, then I don't trust to create the infrastructure that every other group of people have.
They don't use their own money.
Your belief controls your behavior. So when we think about the mental health and the wellness of people in the beauty industry, what role does that actually take in us being able to survive, to navigate and grow our mental wellness, how we're navigating stress? How are you doing it? What are your thoughts about that?
Collaboration.
Okay,
Say
you took
it out
me right
loud.
back. You took me right
Say it.
back.
That's right.
Collaboration. So I go to a person to get my facials. She is African American, and I do her hair. So we have a barter system. It doesn't have to be that way, but I'm supporting her, she's supporting me. And I went to a different girl, Groupon. I was on Groupon, and I wanted a microdermabrasion. I love those. So I just happened to find somebody in Westchester, and I went. and she just happened to be African American. So the collaboration, and so me going to see her, she coming to see me, we're supporting each other. Like you said earlier, we're going to have to stick together, especially in the times that we're in, because what happens when you can't afford to be in your building? You can't be too prideful to call up someone and say, hey, can I come? Can we get together?
Yes.
That's how we
our mouth.
started.
Yeah.
We were in JCPenney's together, and we were talking about owning a business, and Tina was like, I want to be a part of that. She wasn't prideful. I didn't really know them. You know, and we came together and we did the greatest thing. And I like to say we did something that has not been done in my experience. I'm sure there has been other women that came together, but in this county, there has not been 3 Black women that came together and opened a business and then
still doing well
and branched out
and
birthed new businesses.
Yes. Because most of our girls that were under
they are
us,
business owners.
they are business owners.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So collaboration, once again. So when I need wellness for myself, I go to other people in my county and I'm supporting them and vice versa.
So collaboration as a response to managing wellness as well as the stress.
Absolutely.
Anyone else? What are your thoughts? Like mental wellness, physical wellness, what role does that play in the success of your businesses?
I think you have to have a really positive, attitude and really believe in what you're doing. If you sincerely believe in what you're doing, you know, even with the naysayers that they don't know me, they don't know what I can do. I think that gives you the strength. And I think it also draws to you energy, like a spiritual type of energy
I was going to
that that can do more than human beings. I've experienced that, like almost miracles, and I just thank God because it's just what I wanted or just what I expected or just where I wanted to go or be or have,
I think it's about me time. You have to love you and put you first, because a normal 9-to-5 corporate job, you get paid time off, you get vacation time, you get the weekends off somewhat, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. When you have your own business, you're like sun up to sundown. Okay, Sunday, okay, they're gonna pay me. You have to put almost a border around your peace and your space and say, at 5 o'clock I'm getting off. On every Tuesday I'm getting my nails done, or every Monday I'm doing this, or every 3 weeks I'm going to do this. For me, it's vacationing. For me, it's always has been cooking dinner. When I get off, I didn't want to overwork myself, and I've never wanted to do that, because if I am overworked, then I'm not going to be no good to my clients and to my staff and to my people. So it was like, I love me some me time. Whatever that looks like to you,
So loving yourself, collaboration, and creating boundaries.
Boundaries is important. Yep.
To Betsy?
This topic right here is really good for me. I do have a hard time with setting boundaries.
You want to make sure your people are happy. But they will abuse you. They will abuse you.
Right. And it's just me.
Yeah.
So it's just me at my salon. So it's hard, and also when you have businesses there, my book is so booked to the point where I work my days off. So I don't like to turn people away. I don't like to say no. And it's like, oh my God, you Betsy, but you have to set the boundary. So I started off with, okay, you want me to come in on my day off? There's the fee that starts off at $25 on top of the service. So let's say the nails are $200. You still have to pay another $25 on top of that. And I thought maybe that would slow it down. No.
That's what they want.
People will still pay it.
High demand.
I started off with that. Another thing you mentioned earlier was energy. So mental health in the beauty industry is it's very big. Sometimes I do go home super drained. And then, I go home and my children, mom, I need this. I have 4 between 15 and 8, soon to be 8. So just imagine, I walk through the door and now I'm getting bombarded. So, I've learned and I've been practicing on when a client comes in and is draining me, it's okay to set that boundary and let go.
Yes.
of
Yeah.
that client.
That's good.
I am touching hands all day.
That's good.
Energy
Yeah.
transfers.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like you don't think about it until when you notice it, you sit down and they leave and you're like, oh my God.
Mhm.
I need to
Yes.
decompress. I need a breather. And you're
Yeah.
not understanding why.
Yeah.
Energy. So, trying to protect yourself from that and learning how it's okay sometimes to let go of a client, even
They
though
choose us, we choose them too.
That
It's-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's powerful. That's owning your power. That's
Mhm.
owning your craft.
Mhm.
But going back to what Millie said, if I am looking in the mirror and I love who I see
Mhm.
and I believe in
Oh, I am.
who I'm looking at,
Mhm.
I'm not approaching a deficit mindset, then I recognize I can't be depleted by an individual that's not right for me.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And I'm so
Mhm.
once I started doing this whole podcast thing and people started calling me, asking me, well, how do you do this? And how you,
Mhm.
and I would tell them everything that I learned. And they were like, well, do I need to pay for it? No, because what I've learned what's for me is for me.
That,
Yes.
exactly.
right.
Yes.
And I'm not going to be afraid of sharing with you.
Right.
And Tina knows this because as a creative, once I've shared that with you, by the time you try to imitate me, I've moved on to
the
something
next thing.
else.
New,
Right.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
keep
all-
evolving.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That willingness to keep evolving, to recognize I don't have to be afraid to collaborate. It's
Right.
okay to create boundaries. But when I look in the mirror, I'm okay with
Gotta be
me.
coachable. Yeah.
And I'm not going to sabotage that for any
Any-
client.
Mhm.
I
Or
love
any money.
this. Or
Any
Mm.
money.
Right.
any money. Ooh,
Yeah.
my
All money
goodness.
is good money. And
Yeah.
I've learned
Not-
Yeah. And that's a whole nother
That's
show.
a whole
different
You know, we also have to
Mhm.
learn how to say
It's
no.
all show.
We do.
Oh, yes.
No to you, yes to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to do that.
Mhm.
I actually found a script that, and I copy and paste. I've only had to. I call it firing a client, even though
It
it's
is.
maybe not a good
Yeah.
term.
It is.
It
It's
is.
perfect.
It is.
They're
And
firing
She would
you.
say she was
Right.
fired. She used to fire her clients.
right. And it's very nice,
Yeah.
professional. I'm not being
Mhm.
mean. Maybe we're just not for each other.
And that's
you're
okay.
I'm not
Mhm.
for you, and you're not for me, or I'm not for everybody. So, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are like, but what are you going to do? What if you lose business? No, there's
One,
always
lose
somebody else who
one, you
wants to get
gain
it.
like two. Yeah. Yeah.
There's people waiting to get an
Yeah.
appointment, so
Yep.
it's okay.
So I'm getting ready to lean into a sticky situation, sticky conversation, because I believe that. I think part of that, though, also comes with we have to be, especially in this industry of Black beauty, being bold, Black, and bankable, you have to deliver quality.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Don't.
You have to be on
That's a whole can of
time.
worms.
You have to be.
That is
I
a
said it was
whole
not sticky.
That's can of worms. That's
That's a
like
shake it up
explosion. You just
explosion.
did a whole
You
explosion.
shook up the soda
because
can.
it's
I said
our
it was gonna be
industry.
sticky. Look,
The
I told
industry,
them it was
yeah,
gonna
it's
be sticky.
saturated with unprofessionalism.
Right.
That is a whole big
it is.
pain point for me in the industry. I'm not even
And
behind
that's
the chair
hard to
anymore.
support, too.
But
Yeah.
it also changes everything we just said before. Because if I can go sit in your kitchen and you're not licensed and I can get whatever the heck I want and it look okay, but your service is horrible and we accept it and pay for it.
That part.
Oh my gosh. So the value in providing professionalism is first. It's getting people to understand how to receive and pay for
Mhm.
professionalism. They're there because
Yeah.
we've seen it. It's a lot of people that they set a number and that's what the number is, and you're going to get the professionalism. But a lot of folks, especially in our culture, they want to pay less
Yeah.
because they feel like they're getting the same thing when they really aren't. And then some
Levels.
people, we're stuck, and I feel like some of our businesses kind of get stuck in that middle space because we don't want to overcharge people, right? Because
Yeah.
there is a such thing.
Yeah.
People are charging a ton of money and they are giving you the exact same thing, but it's because of the personality and because of the fad
The post.
and the social media and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the professionalism that is required for our industry should be a standard. What things that have happened that we got to pay attention to, and I'll keep my piece, is that we need to pay attention to the law when it comes to our industry. We need to pay attention to the areas that we're in when they change taxes, when they allow braiding salons to now not be licensed, when at one point they made them get a small license, which we fought for. Need to pay attention to how our industry, they make us they're predators
because they found out how much
they are predators
Yeah.
to us. And what I mean by being predators to us is that they will suck us for all of the content. They will suck us for all of the energy. They will suck us
products.
dry for the products, how we do it, when we do it. They suck us dry for that. We don't get any residuals for that. And so if we don't pay attention to our bottom line and what's happening and stand up for it, we're kind of stuck in this loop. We either are going to be there and be happy with where we are, or do something that's not ethical to try to get to another place, or give up.
Especially in different states. Different states.
That shampooing. So in the past year, people are calling asking, do you shampoo?
Right.
Yes.
What?
What?
Stylists out
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Pause.
Yeah, that's a question.
So are you saying that people aren't shampooing?
Yes.
Because you're
There
getting
are
it done in the
stylists.
non-salon environment. Because we have first timers that get in chairs. Oh, I've never had my hair. I'm never leaving because I've never had my hair shampooed by professionally. Meaning I shampooed my own hair before I went to your house and got it braided, my weave, whatever. But if you're not sitting back in that bowl, because I'm not putting my hair in nobody's kitchen sink, but if you're not sitting back in that bowl, that's the experience. Like everybody say, I just wish you could shampoo my hair every day.
Yep.
So they're calling.
Because there are people who are in salons, the braid shops, even getting weaves. They're going to people's homes or their salons, and they're not shampooing. They're telling you to come already shampooed.
And blow dry.
That is a no-no. That goes to the laws, like what Tina was saying. We have to shampoo.
Yeah.
If I use my tools on you and you didn't shampoo, then I'm risking transferring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even
Yes.
if I'm doing the alcohol and things like that, you know, like I still risk people. I'm going to try to stay on topic. People are, they think it's dandruff. They think it's dandruff,
but it's not.
but they have fungus.
Especially when you're coming out of one weave or one braid to
Yes.
another to
when
another.
it stinks, you have fungus.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I tell them,
And to have a
that's shampoo.
professional actually help you understand what that is.
Yeah.
So there needs to be a standard connected to professionalism, to the quality of the service
Education.
that is actually being offered.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The law says it. It's there.
It is there.
It's not. It's only, we don't suffer consequences for it.
Only one time.
Only once in a while. But that's changing. That's why I say pay attention to things, because they are the government where they can't see where your money is. And that's the thing.
what it is.
Then they're going to start to attack it. Right. So we need to really think about it and be careful, because it's law.
Yeah.
This is not just, hey, it just happened, we need to stand up for it. No, it's in writing.
But they are trying to diminish or take away, because there's so many YouTubers, Instagrammers doing hair at home. And it's not to take offense to them, but at the same time, it is take offense because I went to school. I got all my hours. I paid for
And
this.
paid for the
We don't
education.
have no college debt. But I paid for this, right? We did this legally the hardcore way. And while you could say, well, you're good too, I understand. No, you didn't get your license.
Right.
Now, if I want to do that at home and still make it like a salon, I can do that because I have my license, right? But I will never say to somebody, come with your hair shampoo. But flip side is different states are changing. Pennsylvania and Jersey are like one of the last states with the full capacity of our licensing. And it's little things that's moving in the industry that I won't get into, but it's little things that's moving into the industry, how they're changing, how we do hair and nails and skin. And you don't see it because you're a consumer. So you think that is cool when it's really not. Because it reflects back on our. But again, that's another show.
But
Miss Millie.
Yes, Miss
No,
Millie,
I was
go
just going
ahead.
to say too. I was surprised to see that now estheticians don't have to have a loop,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
look at the skin.
How can you see the skin without? I don't understand.
Because they got the
what's
good eyes now.
It's because of the nail salons.
Yeah.
Because of the nail salons.
Yeah. See? Because they touch their skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's little things that they're letting slide that's diminishing on us.
Pause everything.
Yeah, 'cause that was
Y'all having me go all the way on script. I need to understand what you just said, Miss Millie. So they don't have to have a loop
Right.
because of what?
Because the license extends to the nail salons
Yes.
when they do waxing and,
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
And no
Yeah.
offense to anybody, but I personally have never gotten my skin touched at a nail salon. But I'm also educated on knowing I can't go because they're not allowed to use certain things that we let them use. Another show
I
in
get
itself.
questioned all the time.
Yeah.
If I do anything with I'm like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. First of all, by law, I can't.
Yeah.
My scope of practice does not involve.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, but most nail salons do eyebrows. No, absolutely not.
No.
And back to the quality, when we were speaking about quality, it's bizarre how a lot of people, when they come to an independent nail tech, compared to going into a major nail salon, they understand then our pricing difference because they see that
Quality.
I'm using a nail bit per client. I don't share. Nail files, I use you peel it off a metal piece. It's being sanitized and cleaned and sterilized, and I'm putting a new one in per client. I do a manicure with your service, which is push back the cuticles, clean the cuticles.
Not cutting. Did you hear her? That's illegal.
And actually, if you were to trim a little bit of it has to be dead skin.
Dead skin, not just
When
push
you're
skin.
doing pedicures, you're not to use what they call a cheese grater. That's illegal.
That's illegal.
So when they realize and they see the difference, they're like, "Oh my God! Now I see why you charge
Those
what you
things
charge."
make you come back.
Because
Yeah.
You're using clean. Everything is new per client.
Yes.
You're not sharing
yeah.
anything. So you're getting the quality of cleanliness and high quality products.
I'm about to say, don't forget about the products
monomer.
because the stuff that they use.
Yes. So the monomer,
The stuff they're
most
using,
salons
not-
use MMA.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually not for nails.
Yeah.
My gallon of monomer will cost me almost $300. When you would go to a chain salon, they're paying probably $100. Theirs is really meant for porcelain teeth, bone structure, glass windows,
Yeah.
everything but nails.
Yeah.
So what I use, the monomer, is what is necessary to mix with the polymer, which is the powder.
Yeah.
And that also is a big difference. So my name brand products that I use are not products that you're going to see in regular chain salons.
Yep.
So that's what you're paying for when you're coming to me as well.
And 90% of people don't know that because you're a consumer.
Do you see my face?
No,
right. I'm sitting here like.
So I have an
an
example. She recently got a client of mine that was having issues with the bigger nail salons. Finally went to Drew Betsy and was like, girl, I had these nails on all month.
A month.
She said, I was going every week or two to get my nails done. I thought that was normal. She said, I don't even need my nails done. 30 days later, and there's because it's the product.
It's the product.
I mean, it's the artist that uses the product, but the product makes a difference.
So it's the integrity of the business. It's the
Yes.
professionalism. It's following the standard. It's not compromising. But me as a consumer, I need to do my homework.
You need to do your homework, but you know
There's
what?
so much
Drew
I
Betsy,
didn't
just like any other food restaurant, she can put organic up there. She can put best qualities ever. I have a restaurant that I go to that says they don't get any of their products from certain places.
Right.
But she just knows it, and her clients know it now, but the whole world also, she's booked.
It is.
So
So
we need to breed some more nail tags, right? Like,
everyone is saying,
it's
I
hard.
want
Yeah, it's
more. I
hard.
need somebody else. Yeah.
It's difficult, but we can do better.
Yes.
We can do better. We can.
But so this whole conversation came about because Yvonne and I, were having this conversation around very much the same thing that our country is battling with now.
Yeah.
Moving away from the big box stores. So if you think about the big box salons, how can we help and support the younger generation coming in so that they actually are aligning and building the infrastructure and understanding quality in a way that we can have more? Like Betsy's on my show and I can't even get an appointment.
I think the first thing is to stop telling your children that you can't be in the beauty industry.
I was just going to say
that is number one,
We gotta
because
stop promoting
Yeah.
you
Everybody
have
has to go to college.
You have to go to
No.
college. I literally just had this
Trade is
conversation
where
with
it's
my
at.
kids.
Yeah.
I told my oldest son, who's in high school, I said, listen, you do not need, college is not for everybody.
Correct.
It's not. You can definitely go to a trade school
Yeah,
and
yeah.
make just as much or even more
Yes.
than someone who went to college
With
and not
no
have
debt.
not have debt.
Without
I
debt.
paid my
Yeah.
way through when I went to school to get my nail license. I paid cash my way
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
And when I was done, to be able to breathe and know that I don't owe thousands and thousands and
Yeah.
thousands for my nail license.
Or
and
you
I'm-
do both. You know, plenty of high schools have
Absolutely.
trades in the
Absolutely.
high schools, and
Yeah.
you still want, at least you have something to fall on. I mean, we've seen that during COVID.
Yep.
A lot of people got let go. But you know what? I know how to do electrical. I know how to work on
In
cars.
high school.
Yeah,
do
like,
the
you can do that.
TCHS program, like where you're
Most
going
trades
to
are
school,
under 2
and-
years. Yeah.
Which my son just signed up, and I
See?
was so proud of him because
Yeah.
he got accepted. And he was like, "Mom, I didn't get my first pick. I got accepted for my second." I said, "Still go,
Yeah.
because you can go
You never
see
know.
your guidance counselor every day and see if you can always
Yeah.
be able to fit into your first pick. But still do it, because it doesn't mean you have to do just this. You can do this, and you can always go and find something else
Yeah.
that you love and you like, and also do it. You don't have to have one stream of income."
Yeah.
And he's looking at me like, "Oh, okay." So now he's looking at it like, "Oh my God, it's endless opportunity.
Yeah.
I can do this. I could,
Yep.
and I can actually do it. Yes, you can, and I'm here to support you through it." So
Miss Millie probably has the best, because you have your daughters and your granddaughter.
Right?
Like, that's the
Wow.
legacy.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I do. Not really all the time.
Right, right.
Because
But
have
they
their
know how
lives.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing too, I mean, that's really comforting to me, because I can, show them and teach them what I'm doing so that they can continue
Right.
it, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't want to, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we've been stagnated because of not being able to get loans.
Mm-hmm.
And
That
when
is
we make money, we put it back into ingredients because we make our
Yeah.
product from scratch.
Yeah. So they got to
So,
see it. Yeah.
it's sort of like,
It's hard.
it's hard.
Yeah. Well,
It's
you
hard.
hit something on the nose there, because it goes back to being bold, right?
Yes.
Beautiful and bankable. The bankable space, we talked about this a little bit earlier, especially for us, it is hard, right? It's super hard. But if we thought about it, how other folks do it, here's what they do. And I'm going to say other folks. Here's what they do. They learn first, what does it take to be bankable? So they learn, they learn specific in their industry. They learn specific for the bank that they're targeting. And remember, banks are not the only people who give loans. They're CDFIs, Community Development Financial Institutions, that exist all across every state. And what they do is make it just a little bit easier for you to get a loan than from a conventional bank. But there are also programs which are being attacked right now, excuse me, because the world we're in. But there are also many other resources and programs, when you talked about collaborating, that we need to tie ourselves to. But we think it should be, I apply and it's instant. Not you, Miss Millie, but I should apply. I've got the credit. I've got, the things in line. I may have a piece of collateral. That's not what it is. You need to set yourself up for about 2 years to show that you not only have the collateral, but that you actually have the money. It's an exchange. So if you don't have any money, which a lot of us don't, because we got to spend it, like you said, we got to get the new product. If we don't have the money, they're not, whether you got the collateral or the credit or not, in most cases, you won't get it.
Right.
But if we buckle down and do what other folks do and just take the bullet, and I'm going to say bullet for lack of a better word, but it's hard, right? I may not be able to have all the best product right now, but because this plan is here, is going to make me bankable. When I get there, I can get all the product that I need. Because once you get a loan that will really kind of set the tone, you get another one. You get another one. You just have to understand and strategize, and it's different per industry. Me getting a loan for a hair salon would be different than you getting a loan for an esthetician, as well as different for you getting a loan for a nail salon. The collateral looks different. Who you get it from is different.
Tina, something I want to understand, and I want our listeners to understand, is so where do I go to gain the information of how to create the infrastructure to start off well?
Well, you want to first look at people who did it before you. So
we came full circle again.
It is. It's look at people who did it before you, and it's a lot of us. And even if it's not us, that's the other thing. We think we only need to go to our Black
I'll
folks
go to anybody.
to get what we need.
Get a little
in a
niblet
lot
from
of
each
cases,
person.
we might need that other culture to learn from. Okay, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Okay, they can't take anything from you. But what I would say is, get connected to your chambers. Your chambers in your neighborhood, your chambers of commerce. There's one in every city, every town. Get connected with even the colleges and universities. They have like the SBDC, Small Business Development course, your economic development. Westchester has one. They actually just launched a whole big old thing for Westchester. You're actually going to be on an event for the CDC coming up. You want to be connected with those types of organizations that know the loans, know the people that can get it, because it's not just learning how to get or who to get connected to. In many of those cases, you can get connected and learn the process, and somebody has a funder sitting right there for you.
And they're willing to help you. And if
Just
that's
by
too
relationship.
much, if that's too much, there's a lot of alphabets Tina be spitting out, the ABCs
I'm
and
sorry.
CBS and that. I learned that you literally can go to your council's office, your mayor, your local council office, and any question I've ever had, it was like, boop, this is where you got to go. We can put you at the top of the list. Just ask them, but because at local office, that's what you want my vote.
Right.
You better help my business.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Stay. You gotta stay connected.
Yeah.
But it's
We do.
it's
I go
a
outside.
process,
Yeah.
and it's time consuming, and you might get some doors closed.
Yeah, of course.
You
Of course.
might, but education and relational equity. If you don't remember anything else, education and relational equity, in many cases, is the who you know, but you need to learn.
Yeah. Well, in that, the people sit in our chairs. We're touching their hands.
Say it out loud.
Oh, wow.
Say it out loud, because our clients gave us money to start.
Yeah.
Our client, we got money from clients to
Doctors,
start our
lawyers,
business.
teachers.
Listen,
We
I
know
started my
a
other
little bit of
business.
everybody if they're just right in your chair.
They're in your
Yep,
chair.
They're in your chair.
They're in your
But
chair.
again,
Sometimes being
that's
open.
talking.
Yeah.
Open and
No, they're
Yep.
in your chair. If you know you got a county executive in your chair, okay, county exec,
Yes.
what's up?
What does your husband do? What does your son do? You know, ask them questions. Yeah.
So being willing to ask the questions,
Vulnerable. Yeah.
and the person doesn't always have to look like you
Correct.
for them to be able to share with you the information that you need. So stepping outside of your comfort zone and being willing to actually listen. And no does not mean
Don't be afraid
that
of the
you're
no's.
never going to achieve. It just means that that's no for this moment. And something that I tell people who come to me to be coached and they talk about no, there's this percentage, and I can't remember the exact quote, but there's a certain number of times that you have to hear no to get to your yes. So it actually, that no just means you're closer to the yes.
Yeah.
So move past it, keep going
To the next. Yeah.
to the next.
Yeah. You definitely got to keep going.
Depends on how you look at that no.
Come on.
So I'm going to shift a little bit, probably into your era of trauma. So the no means rejection to some people, and they don't know how to process that.
Shame.
But rejection is redirection. It just means not that door. It's another door. One of the things that I learned by being in a a hair show class one day, and I learned that the company 409, the cleaning company, it took them 409 times to get their formula right. So they named it
That's why they named it
409.
409.
Yes. So it's not your time, or that person or that door wasn't for you, but you got to keep going.
Yes.
And that's not made for everybody. It's who you're asking. That is true. And it's not for everybody. That's why everybody
It's not.
can't be leaders. Everybody can't go to college. Everybody can't. It's just, you got to find your lane and stand strong in it. Like Miss Melly said, look in that
bold.
mirror. Yes.
Yeah, you got to be bold
Yeah.
in it.
And recognize that your path may not look like, and I think this is hard for the younger generation only because they were born into social media. So I'm older. I'm a grandmother. I didn't have it when I was young.
I didn't have it either.
But they
yeah.
were born into it. And so that literally is what they cut their teeth on. And understanding that watching somebody else's highlight reel doesn't mean that your story is devalued. It's recognizing your story with its no's and its yeses is still your story, and
Correct.
it is valuable.
Yes.
But you have to be willing to keep going. Oh, this is so powerful. I tell you, I don't even know.
Testimonies
I don't even know
turn
where
into
I am
stories,
in
yeah.
my questions. So let me, what are some of remember, before I ask this question, remember the context of my show is the flip side of
Adversity.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just reminding you before I ask this question. So, what are some of the internal narratives or self-doubt that you have had to overcome in order to pursue the purpose that you are fulfilling now? What is some of the internal narratives or self-doubt that you had to overcome?
I think at the end of the day, it's still me. It's still my business. It's okay to be one. It's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to hit the restart button. It's okay to say no. I think it's okay to put yourself first and be by yourself.
And mine's just piggybacking off of hers, because we're in a very similar boat. Because we started together and then we branched off on our own, and you get used to leaning on each other, helping each other. And for me, it was finding my identity.
Yeah.
Everybody says great things, but what do I see?
Right. Right.
And being comfortable with seeing it in the front. And I'm here by myself having to lead and do.
Owning it.
I don't pick up a phone and say, hey, Yvonne, or hey, Tina, this is happening, you know. But it's knowing that I am enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowing that I am enough and knowing that I'm worth it and putting me first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trusting you.
Trusting you.
Yeah.
And it's a work, it's an everyday thing. You know, life happens and you have to remind yourself, oh, wait a minute, and boundaries. Yep.
Brick by brick. Yep.
And sometimes it's just remembering the last hurdle you had to overcome.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's is fear, letting go
Okay.
of fear. You know, a lot of my clients say, oh my God, you should start going live. You should start doing this to promote yourself. You'll go viral. I am, like you said, with social media, I'm like, oh my God, but how? I can't keep up with this younger generation. And they're like, Jabesi, you would be good at it. They see it, which is piggybacking off of what you said. You guys see the potential, and I'm over here trying to still let go of the fear because I'm like, but what if I don't do right on camera? What if I don't do right on live? What if I'm, you know, it's not the fear of them seeing what I do and how I do it because they're going to copy or learn. No. It's just more of me letting go of that fear, like, okay, I'm going to do good at this. I'm going to get the followers, or I'm going to get the views, or, you know, just to being able to promote the business and get to where my clients see that I can be at. And I'm, in a way, kind of doubting myself, but also it's like I'm also thinking, do I have the time to do the editing? Do I have the time to do the recording? Do I have the time to do this? 'Cause
I honestly think it's easy for me to say what you should do Unless all 6 of your last clients are top-notch Instagrammers showing you how much I've gotten paid this week, you need to make this extra money, then it's a no-go because it's not for everybody. I have a full book and I'm not on Instagram.
That's the part.
I have a full book and I'm not on Facebook. I have a full book and I don't have any commercials, so I think I'm okay in this lane. But if you ever want to come in and post me and tag me on your page, help yourself.
Yes.
It's not meant for everybody.
Well, see, that's what I was sitting here.
Because I was like, I need to see pesos. I need pesos.
Yeah. If you go viral, I'm never going to get my nails done.
It's a stress. So now remember, I just did these 10 hands. And now I gotta edit, post it, and then I gotta go to the kid.
I don't even remember when was the last time I posted something.
No, because we don't need to. We don't need to.
You need to post. I'm like, but how? I don't have time.
You know what?
That's a different world. It's a different world.
I was in a LinkedIn.
Whole different world.
Well, I'm getting ready to ask her. I'm gonna say her name right now. Kirsten Allen. I was in a LinkedIn session with the Success Tribe with Deanna and Deanna Jean, the collab queen. And something that she said in the session was that I know that this culture worries about going viral, but there are a whole lot of people who are bankable who have not gone viral. It is whether or not you are delivering on your craft that is the most important thing. And I went to the session because I'm like, people aren't liking my thing. I need to understand how can
That's
I
the world.
viral?
And there's nobody more professional, polished, got it put together,
And
good
she said,
conversation.
She said, it's not.
It's not that.
It isn't about, there
Their
are
attention
people
spans.
who are bankable, making bank, who are not viral. It is whether or not you are delivering
And the consistency.
consistently on your craft. Are you adding value to the marketplace? That actually, because people are worried about being viral, but that actually doesn't.
You can do that
like
one
monopoly,
time.
but that's monopoly money.
Right.
Like,
And then they
people
want
are going
more.
viral, but have like just 1 or 2 clients in a day.
Right.
They're getting paid more off of social media versus the service that they're providing. I'd rather. I'm passionate over the service.
And
I
your
do
clients
and I provide.
come back.
And it's a revolving. Yes.
The
returning
internet clients is once in a while.
that's
Yes.
why
You
I
know,
can't
we
get an
are-
appointment.
But we were raised off of word of mouth. So you can, there's nothing wrong with the internet if that's what you do and that's what you're helping and this is your world. But we were word of mouth and we're doing great.
That's how most of my business,
Word
the
of mouth.
the aesthetic part of my business is word of mouth.
Yes.
And that's
Free.
where I get all of my clients.
Yeah.
But the other part, we do have a store online,
Yeah.
and that part could use that viral.
Right.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and tell them what that is called. What's the website?
What is the
Oh, it's
website?
dermha.com.
dermha.com.
Yeah.
Y'all better get
So
your skincare.
DERMHA.com.
There we go.
All right, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah. And my, daughters keep saying, you need to do this, you need to get on there, you need to talk, it's you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's one
That's
more
not what you
thing
do.
Right.
I need to do.
But it's also not your
Ladies.
thing.
Yeah,
You know,
It's not my
if
thing.
somebody was talking over you while you were doing the facial, that would make your life so much easier.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing:
You know?
if we think about going back to planning and setting things up, when we can, we budget to do that, to have somebody do it for us.
Yes.
So when you have it in the
The
budget,
assistance and
most people are content create for the product
Right.
or for the service.
We are the
So
product.
when we're able to, we can plan that in our budget so it doesn't take away from us. We've got the
Right.
person coming in, doing the content, creating it for us, and then it can be posted. It's marketing. That's a whole nother
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
that we could be a whole nother
Yeah.
topic for how you are bankable and what your, business is doing. Sadly, the market is social media right now. That's
is.
where marketing is happening.
Right.
Who's watching commercials
But
anymore?
that's
Where's the commercial
there is
on the
It-
shows?
the
Like,
attention
where is
spans.
it?
The
Who's
attention
listening to
spans
the
aren't
radio?
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's listening to the radio?
Yeah.
You pick up your device.
So
Connect
Tina,
that.
the barter is good
so
for us
this
too,
is
though.
something I'd like for you to answer. So you shared one is actually go in and before you even open the shop, start the process, actually map out your plan for being bankable.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am new to the industry and I am ready to be professional, I've done the work,
Mm-hmm.
what are 5 things I need to consider to build the infrastructure to be bankable?
First thing, get your business registered legally.
Right.
Register your business legally.
And then-
Hands down,
Mhm.
number one.
Mhm.
Do it first, not just in the state, but federally.
Yes.
Get somebody to help you if you need help. Because if your business is not registered appropriately, you might as well call it quits.
Okay.
Okay. The second thing would be is to understand your market. Get to know what and who your clientele is, as well as your competition.
Where?
All right.
Mhm.
The third thing is develop your business plan. People think a business plan is corny. A business plan is your structure for your business. That is what it is in place for, and that is what the banks are going to look at regardless.
Oh, wow.
So you've got your business set up, you've got your understanding your market, you want to look at your business plan. Then you want to actually take your business plan and pull out of that business plan and actually set up the pieces that come first. Prioritize what needs to happen in that plan. What we do is we put the business plan and we say, I got the place. All right, I got 5 clients. Go. I'm going to run. That sometimes we might need to do it, and then we forget about this is the piece I needed to focus on first, right? So set up, look at what your priority is in your business and what you need to do. And the last thing I would say to do is get your bank account, okay, which is at the top. These are 5 top, right? This is not only. Get your business bank account. When you have your business bank account and your business registration, right? And let me just say one thing most important on top of this business registration, get you a professional, because we set our businesses up inappropriately. If you're a sole prop, you're a sole prop. If you're an LLC, you're an LLC. If you are a corporation, how you file your taxes,
matters.
it matters.
Right.
So get
Do
a tax
not
accountant.
not file your taxes. Get the right kind of people. Invest in the right kind of setup. You're looking at business. You're looking at just take a look at all of us here.
Yeah.
We were able to survive COVID, including you.
Yeah.
We as business owners, and I'll just point to us because I know us a little bit more intimately. When before COVID and when we decided everybody to go do their own thing, we set things up from day one appropriately. We didn't have to backtrack. We hired a payroll service. What we
go to
could
court.
not do, we didn't try to do. Right? So think about what you need and how you need to set your business up, but take the steps to understand and know, what do I need to prioritize? If I don't have a business bank account and I'm commingling money, why would
Your
anybody
money
want to
should
give
not
me a
touch the
loan?
business money.
Your money should be separate. You can do it legally. You can file a 1040 and then get your Schedule C. Nothing wrong with
There's ways
that.
around it, yeah.
But
who
don't
does that?
expect to go
Yeah.
get a loan when that's what you do.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that the top 5 would really be just know your industry, get your business registered appropriately, get your bank account, plan out your business, make sure you have a business plan. On top of all that, connect yourself with the professionals that provide the
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
I used to tell people all the time, I push hair, not paper. I'm pushing
Yeah.
paper now. I hate it. I love what I do, but it's pushing paper. I don't need to try to push the paper.
Right.
Because
It's gonna
when
go.
the craft is the craft. Most
Yeah.
people that have a craft like us, we're not business administrators. We're not.
Hands on.
So understand what your actual gift is. So in the work that I do with those that I coach, we often talk about operating in your zone of genius. And so with my team, they know. So all of the media images and the this and the that and the pictures and all that. No,
But
I'm not.
Pause. What you just say? You're what?
Team.
Team.
Say it loud.
Team.
Your
Like
team.
I'm not doing
So
all
you
of that.
went and
Yeah.
got a team.
I speak.
Your village,
That's
your
what-
squad,
That's what you
your team,
do.
your teacher.
Right. And
You gotta
don't-
know what
you
we
do.
need that. Remember the circle we had? We need a circle of the worker, the teacher.
Yes.
Everybody's
So-
not that. Everybody's not. That's okay.
So you actually walked right into one of my last questions. And I wanted to kind of sit with you because in May, we had a whole conversation around mental health and wellness for people of color.
Yeah.
And the conversation around cultivating an ecosystem for healing just kept coming to the surface. So I want to ask you, what does it look like to create an ecosystem of care within the beauty industry, physically, financially, and emotionally? I know.
Emotionally.
I
Yeah.
know.
Emotionally
What
is
does
the
it
part.
look like
yeah.
an ecosystem
Yeah.
that really has us as a beauty industry operate from a place of healing and wholeness, physically, financially, and emotionally?
Is this the business owners or business and consumer?
I think it's consumers as
I would
well,
say
because I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
something that you had me sitting here with my mouth open.
Not washing the hair.
Right. I'm like, we as consumers are accepting something, we're accepting shortcuts that are actually dangerous for us.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest one is really step by step, little by little. We can't make a big jump.
Right.
You know, we stop shopping here, they did it step by step, and I think that's what works better for us than most people can't go cold turkey on things, right? So maybe, you know what? I'm going to stop buying all of that big box product, and I'm going to go to Miss Millie's products. I'm going to start once. I can't do that and do the nails and do the hair, but I'm going to do one and work my way and educate myself. And while you're a consumer, ask questions. Why can't I get this at the big box store? What makes this so better? Before I touch it, because once you touch it, you'll know. You're like, oh, my nails didn't last 30 days. Like, you see the difference, but before I get there, I don't see the difference. We don't seem to do that when we go to these big stores and we get these fancy pocketbooks and all that. We just buy it. We don't ask no question. We do it because it's in. I think we got to care a little bit more about our skin and our bodies, and then our legacy of being browns and blacks. Easy, like just doing it along that.
4 things. So the ecosystem, you said literally 4. She said it's just. So it's recognizing that starting small is okay. Because I know people, when we started shifting with all these boycotts, people were like, well, I can't afford
You start
this.
small.
I can't.
You start small.
Start small, start intentional.
Yeah.
Recognize to ask questions within your ecosystem. And then also, this is a part of legacy.
Yeah.
And wanting to invest in something bigger than yourself. So you said 3.
I know.
That started.
We are missing the legacy part. Our past, our people that fought for us, they was thinking about us. I feel like we're not thinking about our futures as much. We're thinking about the right now, the me.
They were
Clearly, as you see, we're thinking about me.
Yes.
When they did, this ain't about me. I need this for my kids. I need this for my grandchildren. And I think that's the part is, let me educate myself now so I can educate my child. That I don't need to go to the store and get this hair product that has a little brown face on it. But when you go to the back of it, it's not even made by the brown face.
Right.
Exactly. You know, so it's just educating yourself little by little. Like I said, just step by step. I don't need to cleanse all in one time, just one
Thing at a time.
So
thing at a
building
time.
this ecosystem is a step-by-step setting intentionality. Anyone
Being
else?
more intentional. Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback off of Yvonne because she had a lot of good points. Self-awareness is very important.
Yeah.
We are, and it's leading to, let's really wake up. We're not woke. We're not woke at all.
We sleeping.
She didn't just.
You're not.
We need more time. We need more time. Because now I'm here.
We're guinea pigs.
Yeah.
We are guinea pigs.
Yeah.
And when you shop big, you are putting yourself at risk for a lot of things, big things like your health.
Yeah.
So I'm coming back to you
Okay.
Yeah.
because you put care into your product.
Yep.
I can't remember why. I was a consumer. You know, like the average consumer.
But we
you know
get
what I mean?
distracted
We get
as
distracted
consumers.
because what's in your face.
We do.
So I trust that you, and I'm gonna still do the research because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Correct.
But I trust that you put your TLC in your products. I heard you. And I'm ripping around trying to find who can do my nails and not put me under the light.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to you, and I'm gonna wait 3 months if that's what it takes. you know,
Tuesdays is walking.
and I'm off on Tuesdays.
There you go.
So
That's
this
good.
is
on
the
the website.
collaboration.
Just get it in
You
there.
know, this is the collaboration. So be woke
Yeah.
and start small, like she said, little by little, because they are killing us.
It matters.
Oh, yeah.
But
They are killing
you
And
know
when they
what?
say it's
That
the
guinea
quality, not the quantity, these young kids got 65,000 products,
Yeah.
and it's because
And none of
this
it's
that
working.
that this that that this that I
None
don't
of
have
it's
fair
working.
skin. She don't even know she's just getting paid.
Yep.
It's not really because of turning that bottle around. And I think that's what it is. I am really minimizing everything,
Right.
and it works.
And to now,
Yeah.
the regulations have been eased
Oh,
on a lot of
Yes.
things to
Yes.
make manufacturing
Go by the European regulations,
much
honey.
more, easier for the manufacturer,
Mhm.
not safer for us.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're
Yeah.
going to see a lot of things recalled and a lot of, salmonella and
A lot of ingredients changing.
yeah.
People have sold their companies. Say
Yes.
somebody wanted to buy your brand. You're like, I'm still buying it. I just got to buy it from the bigger box store. And you're like, I broke out because they changed the
Absolutely.
ingredient. Yeah.
Part
Yeah.
of what you guys said, especially you, Shamika, with being woke. So one thing I will say is, when I opened the salon, one of the main things is, when you're doing pedicures, there's scrub. You go to the
Yeah.
Cosmopro, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
and you buy the scrub.
Yeah.
I don't. I actually, thanks to when I worked with Yvonne,
Mhm.
I
Make your
learned through Shaliza and Yvonne.
Yeah.
I saw Shaliza was making her own scrubs. So,
So
guess what
easy.
I did when I opened my salon? I looked up a few recipes. But I didn't copy their recipes. I
Add
made
to
my
it.
own.
Yeah.
And I looked for my own ingredients, and I made sure that everything was that you could read, you could pronounce,
You can eat almost.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. You
Yeah.
know exactly what it is. So I make
Yeah.
my own scrubs and I make my own cuticle oils. Now I will admit I have, with so much going on, I haven't done it in a little bit, but my clients are
Yeah.
asking me for it. Like, Betsy, I love your
Right.
coffee
Quality.
scrub.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love your cuticle
Makes a
oils.
difference.
makes wonderful scrubs. Her daughter,
See?
she
So you can
makes
buy her scrubs and put 'em in there.
But
Scrubs
it's part
are
of being
wonderful.
woke and not using products on clients and yourself that
Yeah.
you're just not.
It takes
That's
time.
going to
It does
lead.
take time. We are
It's
used to the
yes.
fast.
We are.
Amazon gets our stuff in 5 hours in my house.
Right.
We're used to the fast.
And to that point, though, so
Fast.
we to your question, because we need to do exactly what
Yeah.
we're doing right now, right? Having the conversation, and not just having
Talking
the
to people.
conversation,
Yeah.
taking action, saying, "Hey, I'm going back to you." Say, "Hey, I'm going
Yeah.
to the nail salon. I'm going to do this," and keeping the consistency in it. Here's my wrench in it, is that after we have this conversation and we go back to our phones, we go back to our life, our normal everyday, not just us, but people that are listening on. If we don't take the action step and be consistent with it,
It falls back.
it's a conversation,
Mhm.
right? And so leading by example, one thing that I've heard you say and I've watched you do as well as you is the consistency in how and what you do and what you use, because people watch you whether you know it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the big things in the ecosystem is not showing up with those things, not showing up or being in
Which I
the
just said
room
that was-
with the big box product, not saying, "Hey, I use this, girl, you need to try that," right? And actually living it out.
Standing on it.
Versus, okay, I'm gonna have the conversation. I'm not gonna do it, but as soon as it gets inconvenient, I'm right back to consumerism in the way that I really don't want to be.
Right.
And many times it's life and our lifestyle. So it's not even how. Can we really honestly, and most of us at this table, I think we do it, because we're not sitting here, and I'm gonna just name the stuff. We ain't sitting here with Fendi's and Pradas and all that other kind of stuff. Not to say that we don't have it,
Yeah.
but we're not promoting it or using it or
Right.
saying that it's the
Consistently
thing.
buying it. Yeah.
What are people seeing from us? Do people see me talk about business? Do people see you do nails? Do people see you take care of your kids well? Do people see you invest in your children? Do we promote Shamika going to get education? Do people see all of that stuff? Do we see the minimalist
done, the
that's
nails
happening?
Done. Show the nails, honey. The nails is done. Sometimes
So
you go in there and it's like, you don't even wear your own product, so why would I wear it?
Yeah, so it's the action steps behind it and doing it when it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard as hell to do some of the things that we're trying to do
when
so
money
that
is
we
low,
can.
when
You
you
don't
can't
might
get
not
to the
have enough
store.
money.
Yeah.
People don't have transportation, or they don't want to understand how well the product is because they can't afford it. They can only afford what they can grab real quick.
Right.
So it's deeper than, hey,
deeper.
I'm going to make the choice. It's what you said. Are we going to sacrifice ourselves
Yeah.
to be the example so that other people can come forward? The next generation, because it's a sacrifice.
And that's how it starts in the household. Sometimes you're the only person that don't do this, that do this, and it's hard because other people are doing other stuff. It doesn't make it bad or just used to it, but you really do got to stand strong.
It went back to a question that you asked earlier, what was the hurdle? For me was not having enough. It was always a hurdle for me, and it came from childhood. It was like,
trauma.
I'll never have enough. Like, I just don't have it.
It's just me.
Right.
Yeah. And that's a real hurdle. That's a real hurdle.
And those are hurdles which many people listening, they're facing some of the same things.
Correct.
Yep.
It's not
But
easy.
what we do, which I notice in this room, we connect intentionally, even when we don't even think about it. Because when we're having she doesn't want me to touch her, but she doesn't have a choice. But it's easy for us to pick up the phone and say, hey, Betsy, would you come and be on this show? Hey, Miss Millie, we ain't seen you in 15 years, or we know your product, we're there. Would you come on the show? Hey, we used to be business owners together. Or, hey, Miss Veirdre, you do the trauma thing. We're all interconnected, but we use our resources intentionally. And I mean the people resources we have.
Yeah.
We've got to continue that.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what we got to do.
Stepping
even
outside
when it's
of
hard,
your circle,
when I don't
too.
feel like
Yeah.
it, when I'm tired, when I ain't got no money. Right? Let's be real.
Yes.
Everything comes to the finances.
Because the
Let's just
ancestors pushed, honey. They was always tired and they still did it.
Yeah. But
They
they
didn't have
got us to where
excuses.
we are now. The boldness is in sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, to that point, I was just remembering I had a call one day to be in Ebony Magazine, and they wanted me to list a product that I would recommend. And I couldn't. I wanted exposure, but I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't, do it.
Your
But
fear stopped you?
not fear.
No.
I didn't know anything that was better.
You couldn't list your own product.
Because you couldn't. And
I
that's
couldn't say my own
integrity.
product.
Oh, okay.
That's the
I
integrity.
got you.
Like, I can't put somebody,
Right.
and not
And
for
that's
you, but
good.
it's like,
That's
They wanted
good.
something popular.
yeah,
Oh, that's good.
that's what they wanted.
Oh, that's
And
good.
see, those,
Yeah.
that's a big
saying
deal.
a no. That's
Right.
for no.
That's a big deal, Miss. It's the sacrifice.
That was,
That's a big
That was
sacrifice.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I
It
I
come
felt
back
good about
tenfold.
it.
Yeah,
but it was
you gotta
just
feel
hard
good.
to say.
Because
the
there's
company
nothing better than
or
this. Yeah.
That might have stemmed to other things.
yeah.
That could have
That's
stemmed to other stuff.
That's a perfect example because
That
you
could've-
sacrificed. You
Yeah.
took a step back
Yeah.
from a major magazine. I'm like, wait, what? But
That could have
it makes
stemmed to her
sense
and her
because you
children and
can't.
stuff. Yeah.
Why would you? That's so big.
Gunther
Right.
Brinker called me one time and, said he wanted to talk to me about it. And I didn't want to do it at that time,
Yeah.
and it was just, he said, well, you must not want to be rich.
Wow.
And I'm not.
It comes with some other
Wow,
stuff.
but
Come on, let's
it
talk.
will
Being
still
rich.
come. You're
Right.
still successful.
What's
Yeah,
for
I just-
you is
Maybe
for
you wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
smile
Yes.
when you did all that.
But that's so
Yeah.
major. Your integrity. People do not
Yeah.
have integrity
Yeah.
anymore. And
No,
it's
they don't.
set up. I'm going to take the money and the moment,
Mhm.
and it might have gotten you some more business, but
It
it
takes you down
sacrifices
another
your
line.
integrity because
Yeah.
it's making the other
Right.
people shine.
But
Yep.
that actually is how we landed in the conversation of people not getting their hair washed.
Bring us back in. Bring us back in. Bring us back. Roll us back in. Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
compromise,
Yeah.
when we compromise the integrity and the professionalism of the work, each one of you is around this table because of the integrity to the work that you deliver. so that your voice can be a voice for someone to trust, better understand, or even for me to sit here like, what is happening? Because this is a $9.4 billion industry that, Shamika, you said they are using us as guinea pigs.
Yes.
Will we actually do our homework? Will we make the sacrifice? Will we invest? Will we ask the questions? Will we set up our business right and well, even though it may not happen as fast as we want it to? Once it's built, it's strong, its infrastructure is strong, and then we actually have more flexibility to do a diverse amount of things with collaboration and partners who have the same level of integrity. This conversation has been amazing.
Yes,
and before we close it out, one thing, as someone is listening, share how someone can follow you, and one thing you want to say around this topic of bold, black, and bankable. One thing, the last thing you want the listeners to hear from you on this conversation. So how can people follow you, and what's your closing thought? Anyone can go.
I can go. You guys can follow me on Instagram. The name on Instagram is Inspired Nail Art Studio, which is the name of my nail salon. And one thing I want people to do is go for it. Just do it. Work with it as you go. But any little step, anything you do each day towards your goal, you're accomplishing your goal. You're working towards it. Put your fear to the side, and when people tell you you can't do it, take that as a motivation to do it. Say, you know what? They said I can't do it. I'm actually going to do it.
Why?
I'm going to prove them I can. That's my biggest way of getting back. And it was actually family members that were telling me, people closest to me, oh, why would you do? You have kids. Do it. That's all I want people to do.
Do it. I love it.
Go for it.
Well, I'm Yvonne. Royalty Hair Salon in Downtown. You can go on the Facebook and Instagram, Royalty Hair Salon. See some of my older things on there. I think for me is love yourself enough. And that can go into finding better products, to helping someone in your local business, even to loving yourself or your child enough to push them to not stop them from their dreams. Whether it's you in college and you still want to do nails, do both. You have time. We have more than enough time because we spend a lot of hours on Instagram and Facebook, so we have time. Then the second part is, if it does sound scary, because again, Tina gave you 5 things, but a lot of those had a lot in them. There is a lot of companies like Zoom and it's companies at LegalZoom that you can go and they will line everything up for you at one shot. So you can say, I'm going to do LegalZoom for my first 2 years, and after that, I will get into an accountant, and I will get a lawyer. I will get all these things. So start small, but stay focused.
So I'm going to go next. It's okay.
But can I first? So can you tell them she's not on social media, y'all? That's why she just said. What is the website that they?
Oh, I do have a website. That's right. Yes. Come on, Royalty, and I pay for it. RoyaltyHairSalonLLC.com. Okay, you can buy your products on there. You can ship it straight to you. You can find my application and book an appointment. You can email me, all that through the website.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful website too. So on just coming off of what she said about getting someone to help you set up your business. Well, first, I'm Tina. What I do day to day is work with banks and community development financial institutions, small business development corporations, to help businesses to not only sustain, but grow. So what I will say is, with the thought of a thing like LegalZone is not bad. Those things are not bad, but there are free organizations that you can go to sign up to get it to be set all up for you. There are the SBA has tons of them for free. You just got to look them up and see what might fit for you. The other thing is get connected with your chamber. The chamber is going to connect you to all the alphabets that I just mentioned. So your local chamber of commerce. So whatever area you're in.
Big cities have the chambers too.
Yes.
Because I feel like city folks, we got a lot of corners we can cut in the city.
Yeah.
Where out here in the county, we ain't cutting no corners.
No.
Just to let y'all know. State Board was here before I got here. They came to my salon today before I got to this
they're out
interview.
here.
They're here.
Yeah.
But, you know, so it's just
The county
people just
chambers are
getting out
actually
and doing
really a little bit more helpful. And I'm not putting down the city
Yeah.
chambers, but the county chambers, they invest in a lot of their businesses. And they actually will promote you for free. They will help help you put all the things in place. They have free classes.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things for free that are of value, but just go and get connected with, I'll be here to help. And I'll,
Point you in the
my
right
information,
direction.
I am Tina.Pelzer at Lindistry. That's the organization that I work for. Not Lending Tree, Lindistry. And we are a community development financial institution based in California, but the owner is African American, guys, who started 10 years ago, and all the way through COVID catapulted. We're one of the number one SBA lenders in the country. And that was because of the hard work and the effort, but that's why I'm there. Because it's African American owned and because it's my nature to help small businesses. But I would say get connected to people that understand your industry and your business. And lastly, please get an accountant. We don't count money. We get an accountant.
Yeah.
And there are some people who can offer you accounting services that don't cost a lot. Please get an accountant and a strong business advisor. I will provide some resources. And just like going to see a therapist, every shoe don't fit.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It might not fit. So if nothing else, educate, get the people in place that'll help you with your business so we're not out here struggling until we're older. And can I just add one last thing?
Yeah,
And please.
one last
I
thing.
know. I
And
sound
then
like a
one last
preacher. It's
thing.
my husband and me. Because it's so important. Y'all, we gotta retire.
I was about to say, that's the other part.
That's a whole
I was about to say,
nother
that's the other part.
conversation. You
That's the
can't
other
be
part.
working
That's the other
yourself
part.
to death and you have not set up a retirement plan.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there's a ton of it. You have
I'm gonna
none
Money
retirement.
management is serious in our
Please
world.
set it
Money
up
management
because
is
guess
serious.
what? In our world, the body fails sooner
Yeah.
than the average worker.
Yep. Yep. Because we don't
Set
stop.
up your retirement.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna close my mouth there.
Yep. But one thing to her. Now I'm just going one sentence. Just one sentence is one sentence is
We don't.
if you're going to pay for one thing, I would pay for the accountant. Because
Yes.
it's going to come
'Cause it's
around
gonna
and
lead
bite
to
you.
the other-
It'll lead you.
Agreed.
He can guide
Agreed.
you. So if you're going to
Yes.
pay for something, pay for the management of your money.
Yes.
Because the
even if you ain't got no money.
taxes and Uncle Sam will come and get you. And then you'll be mad. And then you'll want to do some things. Just get it right. Just get it right. Get it right.
Sorry.
They said everything.
I was thinking that.
I'm so sorry.
One little one
Yes.
thing.
That's what I said.
Get a
sorry.
professional.
If Tina doesn't oppose,
Yes.
score.
Yeah,
Score.
no,
I was
score
gonna
is
ask
good.
you.
Score
I was
is
gonna ask you
good.
that.
Score is
Yeah.
free.
Score
I
is
use them still.
Excellent. Score is excellent.
When she said, I was like, Shamika, where did we go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Score is
Yeah.
excellent because they have SBA components. So Score is excellent.
These are people that
Do it.
guide you to the right
Because
people.
a lot of
for
the
free.
other folks, that is excellent.
Yeah.
And I don't like to promote different
Yeah,
types
yeah.
of businesses, but some of them steer you in the wrong direction. And
Correct.
too often people are stuck because these agencies
You're following
gave you the
them.
wrong
Yeah.
information and now you're jacked up. So Score is amazing.
And how can they follow you?
You can follow me at boldandbeautifulhairsalon.com. Just keeping it simple. Or you can text me at 610-679-5023.
She nice,
Come
y'all.
on, I love it. 679 what?
5023.
All right.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Smelly?
Yes. You can follow me on Instagram at DermHA, and you can follow me on the website, which is dermha.com. And You were saying we were supposed
One
to say
thing.
Because we gonna go in there and buy them
Yes.
products. We are gonna get a product tonight. Oh
So
yeah.
the problem is
We don't play
they
with that.
keep distracting
It's
from my
So sorry. So sorry. So sorry.
One closing thought.
Tell the people
one
something good.
closing thought
Yes.
about black,
Bold, black, and bankable.
bold, black, and bankable. I think that black people are extremely creative. I mean, because we have to be. We have to come up with something.
Yeah.
My great uncle was an inventor here, and he's in the museums now. But he was just a meager guy who didn't go to school, no formal education,
Yeah.
and he just started to tinker with things and figure out how they worked. And so, if you have that in you, anything, that passion for something, for discovering how to do something, make something, even with yourself,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
of course. If you want to be an athlete, you know. You just follow it through, because that will take you through all the bad times.
Very
Yes.
true.
That drive to keep going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I got
We
one
are
more thing.
creative.
Come on.
Yes, ma'am.
One more thing.
Come on.
Your belief controls your behavior.
Yes.
If you believe that you can't, then you won't.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So follow your dreams, dare to dream, go hard on your dreams.
Oh. And to that note, our conversations are always around resilience and healing. And so, any story that you have been telling yourself, when you look in the mirror, believe the story that is connected to your most authentic identity. You are uniquely designed, and creativity is in your bones, is in your DNA. Trust yourself, step out, and remember, you are bold, you are black, and yes, you are bankable.
Yes, you are.
This has been an amazing conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. We will see you next week.
On the